Good morning, and thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. As you can see, we're taking you live outside at Midtown Atlanta, where we are tracking some unsettled weather. First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi will be joining us here in a couple minutes to break down what your weekend forecast looks like just ahead. But this is Catch Up Quick, so let's get you caught up on the stories making headlines in and around Metro Atlanta. I want to start with this one. Crews working around the clock to address a traffic nightmare near the state capitol. We're continuing to see massive lane restrictions right now as these responders work to repair a gas leak. Atlanta News First Don Shipman is there with the First Alert breaking news tracker with a look at what drivers are currently dealing with.
Construction crews are ramping up their efforts here, and there are lane reductions. That's something you need to know if you're traveling off to work this morning. Take a look, though, at all of this heavy equipment, and then you can see that big pile of dirt right there and those orange cones. The gas is now capped off. Fire officials say that a construction crew accidentally hit a line. There's a lot of construction in this area, too. Construction crews recently demolished a building at the corner of MLK and Piedmont. Not clear if there's any indication, but it does give you a good reference point as to where we are. We're also right next to the State House. Here's what you need to know if you're headed off to work. The streets in this area, they are open, but there are massive lane reductions on Piedmont Ave and MLK Junior Drive. This gas leak forced officials to evacuate the state capitol yesterday just as a precaution.
People started to smell that were passing by a weird odor that smelled the smell of gas. And I think that's what alerted one of the 911 callers to call us.
If you're making your way through this area at all today, you're going to want to use caution and give yourself some extra time. The buildings in this area, including the State House, back open today, but that of course is causing congestion. People are back to work and they're in this area. You're going to have to take it slow. Restoration time likely right around 5 o'clock today. We are downtown. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
And a scary situation for a post office worker just trying to do their job. A mail carrier at South DeKalb County's Wyndham Falls Estates was robbed at gunpoint. The thieves apparently got their key to the mail kiosk and now keep coming back and stealing from residents. Ring cameras captured the men going to the kiosk and taking packages multiple times. You can imagine how frustrating that is. We're told that residents keep finding their slots open and empty when they should have mail containing checks and personal information in it. They say they've gone to the post office asking them to stop delivering their mail and for the locks and keys to be changed, that the post office hasn't been clear on what they're doing to fix the situation. We, of course, reached out to the United States Postal Service. A communications specialist said in part, quote, "The Postal Service is taking immediate steps to ensure safe and secure mail delivery at this location. We will work with the property management to swiftly resolve any issues for our customers." And then DeKalb County Police also called to investigate this issue. The U.S. Postal Service encouraging anyone who lives in this area and believes their mail has been taken to reach out to postal inspections. We have put a number for you on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. As you can imagine, the residents here are impacted, but this is really a situation that can happen to anyone. So we put out information for you. If you are one of the impacted residents, do connect with us on atlantanewsfirst.com. And a really somber day for Metro Atlanta as we hold the funeral today for philanthropist and co-founder of the Home Depot, Bernie Marcus. Marcus will be laid to rest later this afternoon at the Temple off Peach Street. That is happening at 1 o'clock today. Marcus died Monday morning in Boca Raton, Florida, surrounded by family. He and Arthur Blank opened the first 2 Home Depot stores back in 1979. Now, as we all know, there are more than 2,300 across the U.S. serving customers. So, of course, Atlanta News First Plus will bring you live coverage of the funeral service for Bernie Marcus. That starts at 1 o'clock today. All eyes on the election right now as we are moments away from hearing remarks from President Biden following the outcome of the victory that was lent to former president and now president-elect Donald Trump. Of course, we are waiting for those remarks to begin at 11 a.m. We will carry those live for you, but it has been quite a week already as we head into the weekend. President-elect Donald Trump and his team are moving forward with transition plans for his second term in the White House. CBS News' Jared Hill has the latest from Washington.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
At Howard University, Vice President Kamala Harris urged her supporters to accept the results of the 2024 election, but not give up the broader fight.
This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves.
Harris also said she'll help with President-elect Donald Trump's transition and the peaceful transfer of power after calling earlier to congratulate him. The Trump team said in that call, President Trump acknowledged Vice President Harris on her strength, professionalism, and tenacity throughout the campaign.
We're going to make our country better than it ever has been.
Trump won, broadening his coalition from 4 years ago in nearly every state with almost every major demographic group. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders chided Democrats, saying it shouldn't be a surprise that a party, quote, which has abandoned working class people would find that the working class has abandoned them. President Biden will address the nation today. In a statement, he praised his VP as a tremendous partner and public servant. Biden's team says the president also congratulated Trump on the phone, inviting him to the White House.
Certainly a happy day for the GOP.
On Capitol Hill, the Senate's top Republican took a victory lap yesterday, with the election flipping the upper chamber to GOP control. Republican leaders in the House are also claiming victory, though votes are still being counted to determine whether the GOP will have a full mandate in Washington. Jared Hill, CBS News, Washington, D.C.
And so we will be carrying those remarks for you on Atlanta News First Plus. Join us back here at 11 a.m. And you are looking at rainfall accumulation and what we are tracking, as I've understood, to be an unsettled pattern. First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi is going to step here before I try to pretend to know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. No, we are entering into a little bit of an unsettled pattern, which I think we will all enjoy. Not because we love gloomy, dreary, rainy weather, but because we simply need the rain, right, guys? We haven't seen, at least at the airport, which is where it ultimately counts, more than a trace of rain for over a month. We managed to squeeze out a trace of rain at the airport before the end of October, so that prevented us from having a completely dry month, the first ever dry month on record. I know you heard us talk about it a lot, but all we picked up even yesterday was a trace, and it came down pretty good in Midtown yesterday for a little while, at least when I was leaving work, but we didn't manage to pick up even a 1/100th of an inch of rain at the airport. Some people did pick up a good amount of rain, though. Notice the further south and east you go, where a lot of that heavy rain set up yesterday, we picked up over 1/2 inch of rain in Griffin, over in Eatonton, over an inch of rain, so near Jasper, Putnam, Morgan, and Greene County. Further south and east you went, better rain you got yesterday. In fact, some places like Statesboro picked up over 7 inches of rain. Some radar indicated totals indicating totals over 10 inches of rain, leading to some flash flooding in southeast Georgia yesterday and even into this morning. Most of the heavy rain will set up south and east of Atlanta today. So in far southeast Georgia, we're talking from Augusta down to Savannah, Statesboro. That's where most of the heavy rain will set up today. We'll just get a few residual lingering showers, mainly east of the city. Otherwise, it'll be a mostly dry and mostly cloudy first half of the day. We will start to see some sunshine later in the afternoon, especially if you live north and west of the city, from LJ to Canton to Rome to Carrollton. Expect the sun to start to come out a little sooner, and you'll actually end up mostly sunny today. That will allow your temperatures to warm a lot quicker. So from LJ to Rome, Canton, Carrollton, north and west of Atlanta, your high temperatures today will be closer to 80 degrees, where the cloud cover will hold on a little thicker from Atlanta off to the east, from Athens down to Eatonton to Thomaston, including the city of Atlanta. Expect high temperatures to top out in the low to mid 70s today. Could run into maybe a quick passing shower for that evening commute home tonight, but again, most of us stay dry. It'll feel a little on the damp side, at least through the morning, and then once the sun starts to come out, it won't feel quite as kind of muggy and misty and gross out there. Going into tomorrow morning, it'll be very similar to this morning. It'll feel damp out there. You might have a little bit of mist on your ride in that might make you use the windshield wiper here and there. Temperatures in the upper 60s. putting this in perspective, we need to be in the upper 60s for afternoon highs, and that's where we're starting our days lately. And then through the afternoon tomorrow, we'll start to see a little more sunshine, and I'll take you through that forecast here in the next couple of seconds. Out the door tomorrow, as I mentioned, mid to upper 60s. Will warm quite nicely through the day. We'll be in the mid 70s by 1 o'clock, and that's not even where we hit our afternoon high temperature. In fact, tomorrow, afternoon highs closer to 80 degrees area-wide, because we will see more sunshine a little sooner, allowing temperatures to warm even quicker. So all the area close to 80 degrees tomorrow, mid to upper 70s with about a 20% chance of rain. Very spotty showers tomorrow, mostly dry. Some changes arrive for the weekend. We'll start to have a weather system approach the area. It'll be battling with a wedge of cool air. That's an area of high pressure to our northeast. That's been holding on pretty tight to our forecast, which has been giving us these really gloomy mornings. But as that tries to build back in and a weather system approaches, that's going to give us a really cloudy, kind of misty, damp, gloomy weekend. A few light showers possible Saturday, high only near 70, and that could actually go down. It looks like that wedge starts to build in through the day Saturday, so our temperatures might actually cool. I call those backwards days on Saturday. And then Sunday, a slightly higher coverage of rain as a warm front starts to lift north. And when you have a wedge of cool air and a warm front battling each other, yuck. Okay, the forecast on Sunday, it is an excuse to be lazy, okay? Make the fall soups, watch all the football, enjoy the cozy blankets, light your fall candles, okay? Maybe, dare I say maybe, put up your Christmas decorations if that's your jam this time of year already, okay? I personally always wait until after Thanksgiving. Anywho, low to mid 60s, just kind of a soggy day on Sunday. Not a washout, but definitely not completely dry. Our rain chances will stay at least small, so we'll have a chance for rain every day into Monday. That's when that front finally scoots through, and then we'll be dry by Tuesday. We'll see a lot of sunshine return. Our temperatures, unfortunately, aren't going to cool down all that much. I'll show you that with the 7-day forecast in a second, but our mornings will at least cool off, so it'll feel at least a little more appropriate for the season by the middle of next week. Our cool down, that cooler air could maybe start to settle in late next week, but that's a big maybe. When it comes to rainfall totals, not going to see a whole lot, unfortunately. We're looking at maybe 0.2 of an inch to close to an inch of rain at best all the way through Tuesday. So again, rain chances stay minimal. Now, up in the mountains, you do have the potential for maybe picking up some heavier rain on Sunday. Because of your topography, you obviously have your peaks. That helps create a little extra lift in the atmosphere. So you could have a little bit of heavier rain on Sunday, but still not super significant rainfall. Nothing to get us out of our deficit that we are in, at least for the month. So we'll keep looking for some more significant rain chances. We also have Hurricane Raphael. This is actually pumping in moisture into the southeast right now, which is helping give us those mostly cloudy skies, that very small rain chance, at least here at home, higher coverage of rain to our south. But this is helping to pump in moisture across the area. Not expected to make landfall. In fact, it's just going to kind of hang out in the central Gulf and then make a beeline down towards the Yucatan Peninsula as it weakens into a tropical storm. That cold front that's going to start to move in on Monday is actually going to push this away from us, which is good news, obviously. We don't need another storm anywhere remotely near the Gulf Coast. So we will be glad that that is continuing to stay out in the Gulf. Today, 10% rain chance or less, not even putting one on the 7-day forecast. It is going to just be a mostly cloudy day. If you live north and west of the city, expect to see more sunshine. You'll also be warmer today. Mostly dry to round out your work week. We'll see more sunshine tomorrow, highs in the upper 70s. And then going into the weekend, we're cloudy, we're damp, we're just kind of dreary and unsettled with temperatures dropping into the mid 60s really through the day on Saturday, and then they'll stay there Sunday. Going to next week for Veterans Day, small chance for rain, low 70s for highs, and then notice our temperatures will cool back into the upper 60s Wednesday. That's that colder air behind our front that's giving us that rain chance Monday. It'll finally start to settle in and make itself at home Monday. And notice our overnight lows Tuesday and Wednesday. You'll actually need the jacket again, so put it on standby because our overnight lows will drop into the upper 40s to low 50s both Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, everyone, thanks so much for spending some time with us here for your news and your weather on Atlanta News First Plus. We always appreciate it. I hope you make it a wonderful day, and we'll catch you here next time.